Arsenal have broken them. Arsenal continuing to win when they maybe didn't deserve to, or maybe weren't at their best. It's broken them. City have gone into these last couple of games and they haven't looked at their best. It's like they're feeling the pressure, almost as if they were having to operate at over 100% in that winning run, hoping that in that point Arsenal would slip up so they had some comfortability. Maybe Arsenal would break first. Maybe Arsenal would fall away. And that hasn't happened. Now Arsenal have this magnificent chance to go 8 points clear with a home win over Liverpool. And at 8 points, 21 games into the season, with a City team that looks fragile, with a City team that has 2 cup games to come and then has to go away to Manchester United. And listen, we don't know what the feel-good factor is going to be like at Old Trafford. We may have some of our players back from AFCON. Who knows what it's going to be like? But it's a derby. It can be a leveller. They go into that game under immense pressure. And they play before Arsenal because it's a 12:30 kickoff. So it will be before Arsenal. The next time a Premier League ball is kicked, City go first. And they have to win. If Arsenal apply that pressure tomorrow night and go 8 points clear, they have to beat Man United. Because otherwise they'll be presenting Arsenal with a chance to go anywhere between 10 to 11 points clear 22 games into the season. The pressure is now catching up with them. On City, before I come back to the Arsenal element of this title race, on City today, they were the better team. I would say over the course of the 90 minutes, they were the better team. Whether you watch with your eyes, whether you look at the momentum, whether you go and review the stats, 22 shots to 6. 4 big chances to 2. But the one thing that was constant in this game was the threat from Brighton. Brighton should have gone 2-0 up early in the game. They had 2 brilliant chances, catching City off guard. Then City took over, were the better team. But it was another game where City had the chances, but failed to deliver, failed to execute. They were nowhere near, nowhere close to, absolutely miles away from their usual high standards. The opportunities missed in this game by Haaland and by many others, absolutely crazy, genuinely crazy. Haaland today with 8 shots, 4 of them on target, only scored the penalty. That's it. Cherky, it came on later in the game, but some big opportunities. Shanks left. It was like watching Prison Break. Shanks everywhere today from him. Reinders, poor with the shots. And overall, the attackers at City again today, as a collective, nowhere near where they should be. Foden, invisible for large parts of this game. Silva, invisible for large parts of this game. Yes, they had the ball, they had the possession, they had the territory, but it was either the final pass or the final shot today. It's mesmerising that City didn't score 4 or 5 goals. But why were they snatching at the shots? Why were they getting caught off guard? Why were they looking this vulnerable? Well, it's one of 2 things. The squad building hasn't been good enough. The injuries have, of course, taken their toll. There's no doubt. I'm not going to speak differently about City than I do other teams. The injury crisis has hurt them. The midfield they've built, yes, very good on the ball, but it isn't that strong out of possession. They get caught with counter-attacks. A player that doesn't get mentioned a lot, who used to stop a lot of teams countering against them, they've lost that recovery speed of Kyle Walker, who just was a little bit of a cheat code in that regard. And what the board haven't done well enough for Pep is build him a good enough squad to cope with the injuries, to cope for the first time in the Premier League, the best league he's played in. It's the hardest season that Pep has played in. So many hard games, home and away, so many teams with killers, so many teams with match winners. Even the sides in relegation can hurt you and have match winners, have players that you go, I wouldn't mind taking him. He'd be a good squad player. Oh, he looks dangerous. When we're looking at Burnley, Wolves, all these teams, you've got West Ham down the bottom. Who wouldn't look at Bowen for their squad? You can play this game. You go through all the teams down there. All their teams have got dangerous men. It's not always been like that. So City haven't given Pep a strong enough squad to cope with the quality of this league. And I don't blame Pep per se for that. He's adapted. He's created solutions that have made them a far more competitive team. He's going to finish in the top 4. They're still a very good side, but they don't look like a great side right now. And then on top of that, you add the mental pressure. And as I said to Arsenal fans, maybe 6 weeks ago in that period, maybe games ago, it actually feels like it's been weeks, but actually there's a lot of games in December. When there was scraping past walls and scraping past this team and scraping past that team, I said, you guys have got to relax. I've been in more title races than I've adult dinners. Many years ago, of course, but I remember them vividly. Those narrow wins, those champions wins, feel great on nights like tonight. Will feel even better if Arsenal can apply themselves and beat Liverpool tomorrow night. Because it's what's put the pressure on this City team and is making them crumble. They're having to work at optimum level. They're having to work at a rate that the squad can't cope with, and they're crumbling. And the machine, the monsters that are Arsenal right now, appear to just be far too much for them. Far too much for them. You add those things in. The injuries, of course, taking their toll. Injuries are a real reason why teams' levels drop. Anyone who says otherwise, I'll be honest with you, you're either doing this kind of macho-y, Andrew Tate-y sort of, I don't do excuses in life. Even if I get mugged in the street, it's my fault. Weirdos, okay? Injuries are a real reason teams drop backwards. The squad build by City has been nowhere near good enough in the last 2 to 3 years. It's a very good team, but it isn't a great team. And that pressure by Arsenal has hurt. And I saw a City fan today say, all we've got to do is win one game when Arsenal drop points and it's all in our hands again. And I sat there and thought, this is what's crazy. Even City fans who have been the most successful club, fans of the most successful club of the last decade, falling off a little bit can make everybody go delulu. Makes everybody go a little bit, woo! It's like, what planet are you living on? Arsenal might lose games. You are still going to drop points. And that's the point. Even if Liverpool get a draw tomorrow, it's back where we are. So, look, Gahey might come in. The City are going to throw money at this now. Gahey's going to come in. But I want to call out Man City for a moment, because if this was Man United, if this was Chelsea, if this was Arsenal, the world and his dog would be going crazy. The world and his dog would be going in. The world and his dog would have a hell of a lot to say about what I'm about to bring up now. And that is, can you imagine not signing Semenyo on the 1st of January? What would be labelled at Man United? What would be labelled at at Chelsea? What would be labelled at Arsenal is, you're not serious. How have Man City allowed Semenyo to play 1, 2, 3 more games for Bournemouth, risking injury in that period? He's banged in a winner today against Tottenham when you needed him. When Man City have needed another player to score them goals and to help win them games, the man they have turned to, the man they are spending 65 million British pounds on, is Semenyo, who has played 90 minutes in the last 3 games for Bournemouth, where he would have been a huge impact player. In fact, you could have won your last 3 games. Now, you couldn't have had him for the 1st of January. That's fair. That's too soon. But you could have had him for the Chelsea game to kill the game off. You could have had him today to kill the game off. But you haven't got it done. The reason I'm really calling it out is whether people like City or not, whether they think they're cheats or not, and that's another conversation for another day. They're normally so serious. They're normally so professional in that way. And they've allowed Semenyo to keep play. I mean, he could have, he didn't. He actually had a brilliant game, won the match, last kick of his career at Bournemouth. Well done to him. Good luck at City to the individual. But he shouldn't have been a Bournemouth player today. Should have been at the Etihad, helping his new team win 3 points. He's going to City to win trophies. I'm sure maybe this season even, it'll win trophies. Definitely in the next 2 to 3 years. It's unlikely that City will go 3 or 4 years without winning a trophy. But you brought him in, and you're maybe one loss and a couple of Arsenal wins away from being out of the title race. But you're bringing him in to help win the league. It feels almost a little bit like the horse has bolted before you've shut the doors. But look, Brighton, some would say they're not valued for their draw tonight, but I think they actually defended quite well. Great saves when they need to be happening. Great blocks. Well done to them. Arsenal now, tomorrow night. Take it home. Take it home and make it an 8-point gap. Make it an 8-point gap. Almost put Man City to bed. Like, share and subscribe. Hit the hype button for us, please, people. City bottling.